1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
My name is Brad Lake, and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today, we're going to be talking about things that make me laugh. I don't know, things that we should cheer about. Where's the air horn? There's the air horn. Anyway, being a little silly, we got the goat. Greatest of all time. Toph, not here. We're going to be talking about some stuff. What kind of stuff we're going to be talking about? We're going to talk about the hotness and what is hot. It's all brand new. Like the top 10 stuff is like things hardly anybody's played, but it's got all the buzz. But then there's things that have been sticking around for ages, months, years, and so forth. Maybe those are the ones that we should really be checking out if you haven't already played them. So let's jump right in. Let's take a look. We have Space Marine, the board game. Now I clicked on this, and this has got a rating of 3.5 out of 10 right now. I'm not sure, 3.6 now. If you ever wanted something that is going to hold its value, if you get this game, this guy won't be worth much, but the Space Marines will be unique, and those will probably be worth something. They usually sell for as much as the game after the fact. So if you're looking just to get little plastic Space Marines that'll be worth something later, this is the game for you. I don't know how much they're going to charge for it. Basically, a lot of the GW games, except for a couple that were, I think, kind of sleepers, usually aren't great. I'm kind of wondering what this is going to be like. If you look at it, you're on a map, you're going to be running around killing a bunch of Tyranids that are coming at you, and the Tyranids are the 40k version of the aliens from the movie. And I would think if you're just one guy, like the video game, going around and sawing up a bunch of Tyranids, I could see where it might only be this 3.6. But a lot of interest, probably from a lot of 40k fans, including myself, but I've never been a huge 40k fan, board game fan. Some of them sometimes, but in general, it's very, 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 the miss more than the hit. And then we've got White Castle, which is number 2. So this was at Spiel, and it's by the same designers as the Red Cathedral, and that's why this has got all the buzz. Everybody's comparing it to some of the in-depth strategies, and this is when I finally got this was a lot smaller box than I thought. This was going to be one of those big boxes or whatever, but this is a good game. I'm assuming that the White Castle will be a good game as well. Right now, with the few people that have played it, we've got 576 people have rated it at an 8. So those people are probably like Red Cathedral. It's always biased depending on how you look at things, but it's shot up there by the number of people that have clicked and commented and put their rating in so far. And this Ancient Knowledge, I don't know anything about this one. This one's shot up, and it's got 319 ratings, 7.5 out of 10, but I really don't know much about it. It's from Yellow. I like some Yellow games, Bunny Kingdom, some of the lighter ones, but I don't know anything about this game, so I'm curious to learn a little bit more about it, and we shall see what happens with that. And then Nucleum, this has got 2 great designers. We got Simon Luciani, and I'm sure I'm not saying his name like Luciani, and then David Turczi. I think David Turczi is like Reiner Knizia. He's trying to make as many games as he can in his entire lifetime. Have 1,000 games with his name on it, solo or something. But they've made this one. It's from Board and Dice, which is another one of my favorite publishers. So I am interested in this. I'm not sure when it's going to make it to the United States. They were demoing it at Gen Con, and I think people are picking this up from Spiel. So it'll be interesting to play this. I'm looking forward to it. Typically, Board and Dice fan. Haven't found one that I don't like yet so much, and we'll kind of see how that one falls out. And then Voidfall, I'm not going to click on this. Is a 4X experience, is another one with David Turczi's name on it. I'm 99% sure on that. Yep, he's on this one as well. This is a big, long game. I backed the other game, Fractal, that was out at the same time as this. They were both talking about 4X experiences, and Fractal called to me a little bit more. It didn't get it got a good backing. I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands of dollars it was, but I think Voidfall was easily over $1 million. So different weight levels. This one I actually thought sounded easier because they claimed that it didn't have any there was no luck. You knew if you were going to win the battle or not, and that kind of put me off. Not that I want a luck-driven game, but I don't want it to be as certain. I know if I'm going to go fight this one, I've got everything locked up, and that's not very interesting to me. Evacuation is number 6 on the hotness. I don't know anything about this one. We've got a designer, Vladimir Suchi, and he has done a few different things. Let's see what's recent. Woodcraft, that was popular a year ago. Messina 1347. Praga Underwater Cities, great game. Pulsar 2849, I've got on my shelf of shame sitting over there. I still want to play that. So he's definitely got some good games under his belt. And he's got a new game sitting here, Evacuation. 160 ratings. I doubt this one's out yet. I don't know if this is a Kickstarter. I haven't seen it, but it doesn't mean it's not out on Kickstarter at the moment. Looks like we've got a few people that have reviewed it. I like Natharnia. Usually does very good playthroughs. Let's see. Yeah, we've got quite a few. I wonder if this is... May have to look on Kickstarter to see if this one is over there right now. And then Dune Imperium Uprising. This is going to be a standalone to Dune. The series is not just going to be an expansion. So I am curious about this. Finally got Toph into liking the current Dune. So I'm curious to see how they're going to be, what tweaks they're going to make with this one as a standalone system, and what new cards they're going to have. But I'm sure this is going to be good. It looks like definitely looking similar to the current game. So, they've got a good system, and we'll just have to see what tweaks they've made to it, and that you don't have to buy the base game and all the other expansions to play this one. So that may be good or bad. Not sure. Dune all the expansions for Dune are great. Moon, I think this is from the same people who did Villagers, and I am not a fan. Yep. These don't, if you like Villagers, you'll probably like this, or Streets. I don't. It's just not something that I found very lackluster, and not a puzzle and a chaining of things that I enjoyed. I just didn't, for me, that was definitely a 5 or a 6. I'd play it if somebody wanted to play it, but I really wouldn't want to play it again. And then from the makers of Ark Nova CGE checked games, Lost Ruins of Arnak. Well, I'm telling you, anytime I want to think of a name of a game, I can't. So this one is for sale or sold at Spiel. I don't know when it's going to make it to the United States. And I read a review of somebody who went through 30 games at Spiel, and they actually didn't find this one all that great. Now, in my opinion, I think most CGE games are kind of like mid. Lost Ruins of Arnak is an exception to that, but they give you a great price for the game that you're getting. All their games are in that $50 range now. They're not super thick cardboard. They're usually not double layered, but for what you're getting a great game for a good price. I would say that. And then Heat Pedal the Metal. This has been on the hotness, and it finally had its second printing, so now it's back up in the top 10. A lot more people are getting to play it, and is also now on BGA. This is a great game. I love this game. Everybody in my game group loves this, except for maybe one person, but they like GeForce, I think it is. They're super good at it. So this one is not as fun for them. They're still trying to grasp this versus thinking about GeForce. But everybody in my game group loves this one, and if you go to the advanced mode and start playing with the drafting and the extra cards, and it's a lot of fun. The photographers or the reporters at the corners and things like that ends up being a lot of fun. Septima, I passed on this one when it kickstarted. I think it's starting to deliver, or it is, people are picking it up, and that's why it's kind of back up on the hotness now. I'm not sure where I am with Mind Clash games. I love Anachrony, but that was David Turczi, so I'm not sure if I think I like David Turczi more than I like Mind Clash games, so I kind of passed on this one, and I'll kind of wait to see where the prices end up, and maybe I'll pick this up after it comes out at retail. Ark Nova, great game. I do still think it's overhyped, but it is a great game. I like it. Toph likes Terraforming Mars more than this. I like this more than Terraforming Mars. And this is one of those, like, if you want a good Euro game, it's tactical. You have to watch what cards are coming out, and you have to adapt round by round based on what that is, but you're still also going to have to very much play the green track is what I call it, on the inside track. But I have seen people almost ignore that and just completely get a massive amount of the ticket track on the outside and they still won. So there's some interesting ways to win in Ark Nova depending on how you want to play. Evenfall is number 13. I don't know a lot about this one. We have the designers, and it doesn't look like he's got anything else out. So I don't know a lot about this one. Another nature game. Nature games always pop up and do have a lot of good hype. Got some cute little witchy meeples going on there. So kind of wait a little bit more to find out about that. Sky Team was at Gen Con. It's also now on BGA, so it's getting a lot more click-throughs. Interesting, you don't get to talk with the other person as you're trying to fly the plane between the pilot and the co-pilot. It's not how pilots and co-pilots work in a real plane, thank goodness. But you're trying to get, there's planes coming at you, and you're trying to tell the radio tower to move them and kind of semi-communicate with your partner and work to a strategy to be able to land the plane without crashing. And Forest Shuffle, another nature game, got a 7.6. And let's see, the designer is Kosh, and they've done Fife. And I didn't play that game, so I can't comment too much about the designer. Looking like just under an 8 for this one, 913 ratings, so more than some of the others. So it's probably going to be landing between that 7 and 8 rating for that game. And we got Dune Imperium. So once again, I'm talking about games that have been on here for years. Dune Imperium's been on the top 50 of the hotness forever. And if you're new to the channel or new to board gaming, this is a great worker. It's a deck builder worker placement game. So, and if you've watched Dune, you're going to enjoy the game more. Toph didn't really get into this game until after I sat him down and had him watch the movie. And then he started to understand what spice was and understand the theme and how they're using that within the mechanics of the game. So just be aware of that. You can like it, but I think you're going to like it more for those who haven't seen Dune. You're going to enjoy it more if you go and watch the movie. Spirit Island, great game, great solo game, great 2 or 3 player co-op game, tough game. This one is got an 8.4. It's a 4.06 weight rating, and this is a good game. They've got a lot of expansions for it. I don't necessarily know if you need any of the expansions. I enjoy the base game as is, and you really have to have a group that knows how to co-op and puzzle well together versus somebody just trying to do their own thing. Otherwise, you're going to lose. This is a easy to lose game. How's that? Expeditions is still on here from the time it's come out, from Stone Meyer. A lot of polarizing opinions on this one. This is not Scythe. This just is set in the same universe, so it has some of the same artwork, and then it's got some digital artwork or AI artwork, clip art, things like that people are kind of like, eh. I would say I like it. I know other people don't, and it does get bloated at a higher player count. It can take longer. We did a review of this if you're interested. check that out and determine what is best for you. Brass Birmingham, believe it's still the number one game of all time on BGG. This has been on the top 50 forever. It's a great Euro game. You get a couple cards. You're going to play the cards that you have every turn, and like you get two. You're going to play 2 cards every turn, and it gives you a place and a thing. Boy, it's been a while since I played that. I need to play that again. It's such a good game. It is just such a good game. Oathsworn into the Deepwood. This just delivered. This was a big hit when it delivered last year, and they delivered this in less than a year. So this Kickstarter was like November of last year, because I backed Cthulhu Death May Die, the second or third version of that. Like, we went all in, and then Oathsworn came out and I decided to go all in on that. And then this is how, if you're going to reprint a game, you should be able to get it back out to your customers in less than a year. And they did that. I would say they got it out in like 10 months from the time the Kickstarter. And compared to like Orange Theory, I'm going to badmouth them a little bit. I backed, I can't even think of what the solo game is with them now, but they still haven't shipped it yet. It might be on the boat from China. And so it's over. They're like hitting a year and a half for something that was supposed to be a complete reprint, but they didn't want to like they couldn't just leave it alone and get it out. They had to keep adding and keep adding and keep adding. Sometimes when it's a reprint of a game, just get it out. And Oathsworn's been able to do that. They've been able to stay on top of things. This is a good game. I'm going to do like a Kingdom Death monster versus Oathsworn, compare this versus that, because I've been playing both at the same time. One is definitely winning over the other, but I like both. Witcher Old World got a lot of hype, and now I feel like it's just falling. I'm going to do a review on this in another week, probably this weekend, and then it'll be next week that this comes out. I've just been kind of meh on this one, so spoiler. And let's see, what else has been on here? Hegemony has been on here. I thought this one would fall off. I think I need to pick this one up. This one's sticking around. It's staying in that top 25. People say a lot of great things about this. Let's see how many ratings we have now. We've got over 2,700 ratings. It's an 8.5. I mean, that's a great score. Let's go look at Brass for a second. Brass is sitting, it's going to have a lot more people, but 8.6 with 41,000. So that's still a lot. So if you're a Eurogamer, this Hegemony, I'm going to have to look this one up. This one's, the longer it sticks around, the more it's piquing my interest. Like, yeah, I need to check that one out. Lost Ruins of Lost Ruins of Arnak has been around forever, and it's been on the hotness. I think since it's been out, 38,000 people have ranked this. It's an 8.1. It's a good game. It's not super complex. 2.9. Yeah, I'd agree. It's under a 3. It's not Castles of Burgundy, which is a 3. 2.78, 2.75 rating. Definitely under a 3, but good game. A lot of people love this. It's a staple in our industry, in our hobby, I should say. Terraforming Mars, you're gonna love it. You're gonna hate it. I like Ark Nova better than I do this. And let's see, Age of Innovations. I prefer Gaia Project to all the others. So you kind of look at these and pick the one that you think is more interesting from a theme. I think Gaia Project's way better than the rest. So Ark Nova's expansion, Revive has been sticking around. I've played it. I like it. I need to play it a few more times before I can really give it a review and give it its due. I've played it solo a few times. I need to play it with my group, relearn it, and get that to the table and see what everybody thinks. Cascadia, a lot of people like. It's been around forever on the top 50. I am just okay. It's too peaceful for me. I want a little bit more conflict in my game. Rats and Windstars, new and it's dropping. Apiaries, new and it's dropping. Wingspan, one of the top selling games in our hobby. Everdale, one of the top selling games in our hobby. Arkham Horror. these are the ones that, like, if you haven't played these have been around for a very long time. They've been on this list for a very long time, and there's a reason for it. Same with Castle of Burgundy. This is the special edition, which makes it a lot prettier, and I would recommend buying this version, even if you just get the plain Jane, all cardboard, no 3D miniatures, no acrylic, anything. But I love this game. I've got over 40 plays of this, and I think it's great. So anyway, I could keep going on, but there's some, look at these and just see what's been around. Like especially some of these at the bottom. Sleeping Gods never seems to want to drop off the bottom. Marvel Champions has never dropped off the top 50. Final Girl, I think you could get one of these instead of, like, there's 30 of them now, it feels like, if you wanted that experience. Obsession's been around for a very long time on this top list. Root is an amazing game. Higher difficulty, harder to learn if you've never really played everything asymmetric. Like, everybody has a different way to win. So just understand that the way to learn Root it's got a high entry level, and you can play on an app. Kind of helps, but it's not perfect. Earth has been around for a little while since it came out this year, but I think it's dropping. I liked it, but I don't think it's like, I think it kind of had this, like, oh, this is better than Ark Nova and everything, and I don't think so. I think it's a solid game. I'm glad to play it on BGA, taking care of moving all these little plant pieces around and seeds and everything. I don't think I'd want to mess with that on the table and have to deal with all that stuff. I think it would be fiddly. Anyway, so that's me going over BGG's hotness and what I think about a few of them. Take a look at the ones that have been around for a very long time on this list over the ones that are just like splashes in the pan. The top 10 are definitely splashes. Some of those are going to stick around. We just don't know which ones are which. Watch your money, pick wisely, and just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night. Bye.